Welcome to Geek Tank Radio. We are the Geek Patrol, blah, 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 blah. Joe's not here this week, so guess what, guys? We got to find our own sponsor, and I went for something just to tick Andy off. We are brought to you this week by Groot's self-decorating Christmas tree light. Why worry about the robots when you can have a sentient tree in your house? It'll decorate itself, and then it'll take itself down and go away at the end of the holidays.
Why would that make me mad? That sounds incredible.
Man,
because
awesome.
in order to do it, you have to sit through a 4-hour Guardians of the Galaxy presentation with Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah, I'm down for this.
I like Chris Pratt.
But he's playing Star-Lord the whole time.
Okay.
He'll still do it. He'll still do it.
Anyways, guys.
For a tree, for a
Groot
Christmas
tree?
for
Yeah.
a Christmas
For a
tree
Groot
that will
tree?
decorate itself
Yep.
and then walk itself out of my apartment when it's done.
Yep.
I'll take that.
Okay,
What are
we're
these
down.
marketed as? Groot Mr. Trees? What is it?
No, it's just Groot's self-decorating Christmas trees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, if we come up with something better, we get something better. We get some for free.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I like the Groot mystery.
The
It's like
Groot
the, it's like the
mystery.
build. It's like the build a better mousetrap thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we got a good show coming up for you. Like I said, Joe's not here, so we won't have to worry about what Putin's going to do with Alan Science. We're going to hear from Andy we're going to get to hear from Andy all about, why voice actors deserve more credit, and we kind of agree with him. And, we're going to talk about our holiday queues on Netflix getting completely full of holiday movies. And we're just going to go with it. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do this crap.
Let's go a little walk in France.
No.
I don't want to.
Yes. Let's go to
I don't
a
like you
lab
like that, Alan.
in Clinitech and a University of Grenoble.
I don't mean to be mean to any of the listeners we have, but France smells funny.
Well,
Like
It's
cheese and anger.
Clean air smells.
No. It's
Countryside.
I hate to say this. That is not clean air.
well, there's a nice young man named Thibodeau. He's 30 years old, and he suffered a catastrophic accident, and he can no longer walk.
Aw.
So he fell like 50 feet. Used to be an optician. Spent a couple of years in the hospital, and they've come up with a great idea. They started practicing on a computer game.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Yep, got a little game technology for you, Andy.
Okay.
Started practicing on a game, basically a game console on how to make things move.
Okay.
And then they graduated up, and they said, well, you're getting pretty good at the game, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into your skull, and we're going to put a couple of implants onto your brain.
Don't like it. Don't like it.
And then we're going to play with the game some more.
This really does sound like a supervillain origin story,
Well,
my friend.
it's,
Don't like
well,
it.
after we kind of got that, they have now designed a fully functioning exoskeleton suit
Okay.
that he can now control via this technology implanted on his brain.
So he's Iron Man.
Well, not exactly, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
This is not a good thing.
I
Alan.
don't like
Yo,
it.
this is a fantastic thing.
How exactly?
Well, all right,
I mean,
well,
I get where you're coming from, right? Like the kid is paralyzed, he can't walk anymore, right?
correct.
So now they have built him a thing
they
that
have
he
built
can
him a
still
140-pound exoskeleton
he can still
that they can
use
strap him into,
his brain.
plug him into it, and
to-
now he can stand up, and he is now learning how to walk with this exoskeleton suit connected to his brain.
Then he's going to learn how to run.
Yes.
Then he's going to learn how to beat people up with his fancy robot suit.
It's not Dr. Octopus. You're all right.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well,
I'm sorry. You want to bring that up because that's the whole plot of the game.
we got,
Is they're trying to make things to make disabled people able to function again,
This
and the
is-
dude makes 4 giant octopus arms for himself.
Well, that was his problem because he made octopus arms and he didn't make like an exoskeleton
And
legs.
even, okay, let me.
Well, yeah, but his
his
legs were working fine. He just
isn't
had to
gonna
reach
beat
stuff on the
people up.
top shelf.
This kid's going to be a good kid and just enjoy his cool robot suit, and he's going to do his life how he would have normally done his
Yes.
life. But you know what else is going to happen? Someone else is going to start putting implants in someone else's brain, and they're going to use that
well,
evil
that's
robot
Elon
suit.
Musk.
No,
over
no.
there talking
I don't
about
like it.
his AI.
She
Here's
says
what's
this
gonna-
like these aren't already in
Yeah,
full
here's-
use.
Here's
in the
what's
military.
happening, right? This kid is like Ali said. This kid is fine. He's paralyzed. He's using his exoskeleton to again be mobile, right? However,
look
I would have
Inside.
probably worded that differently, but I agree with you.
what?
He's fine. He's paralyzed. You
No.
know?
Oh, yeah. To a point, he's
However,
my interest in modern science, let's just say, has greatly increased in the last couple of years.
oh sure.
Now this thing is hardly an Iron Man suit.
No, wait.
This
I'm
thing
not
is
done.
tethered to the ceiling. It's 140 pounds.
Yeah,
He's
for now.
Well, yes, and they are looking forward to refining the technology.
There
And
it is. What are the military applications of an electronic exosuit?
We
that you
already
can plug
know
into your
this.
brain?
The military has
I hate it.
exosuits.
We should not keep giving military people ways to lessen their personal.
No, this is fantastic because as someone who has a disabled person in their family, to have that person be able to get up out of a chair and
Oh,
walk
that'd be
on
great.
their own, no, it's fantastic. Keep this
it
tech
is
going.
amazing.
Yes.
So, but there's now
For the
there's
general public, yes. Pro this.
yeah. Well,
Anyone else, no.
Now, if
Medical
and if
applications.
it keeps our military safe, then
Here's the thing, Allie.
who's the guy who would actually invade the country full of robots?
Here's the
Other
bottom
than you,
line.
Allie.
With all of this exosuit,
Who's the populace who would stand up to an army of robots when their leader turns totalitarian?
there's always an off switch. I don't know why everybody's like, "Oh, technology's bad." Just turn them off.
I can build an EMP pulse in my backyard. It's not that hard to stop a robot, Andy.
It's not that hard. Turn them off.
How
Everybody has an
9,000,
off
man?
switch.
How are you going to shoot me down when I got the
Okay.
rocket?
Well, they even addressed. I even like how the technology people said the danger of hype always exists in this field. To quote, cost constraints mean that high tech options are never going to be available to most people.
Right.
So I mean, this stuff's expensive, but I get very excited when I see any technology that takes you from.
Well,
That's also why healthcare sucks because
no. Here's
all
the
good
bottom
things
line.
are too expensive for people.
They make this suit, right? They sell it basically to the military, who mass produces it. Okay, they have too many. They have a surplus now, right? Because
You
there's
can
a
nip
new,
down to Salvation
a
Army
new tech,
and
a new tech comes along.
That is kind of how we end up with an overabundance of tech, and then the prices
Right.
go down as
And
you
the
sell it to the
prices-
government and military. They overproduce, and then they have a bunch of stuff
they
in
sell it
storage.
to us.
Maybe I don't want the government to have all of it.
Well,
Okay, all right.
Who
Well,
else is funding?
here, hold on. Allie?
I don't know.
Do you
Elon
wanna-
Musk has millions
Allie,
and billions
Allie,
of dollars.
He's
Allie.
too busy going to Mars.
Hold on.
Amazon man has millions and billions of dollars.
He's too
Why
busy
isn't he
blowing up his own
helping
plane.
actual people that need help?
Allie, do you want to take away everything that the military has overproduced so that we now have? Because I can take your phone from you right now.
There goes your microwave.
Y'all make
That
me
microphone
so
in front of you doesn't work.
There goes your TV.
Oh, that car of yours.
you know.
Yeah, there goes your car.
No. Like let's
The GPS system in your car. You're
Take-
lost now.
take the military out of it for a second.
Oh my God! All we're gonna have left is Starbucks and Karens.
Yeah.
You take the military out of it for a second, you still have essentially the same thing. Like right now, yes, it's really expensive technology. The
Yes.
dude is tethered
Really
to the
big,
ce-
really
it's
cumbersome.
really big, really cumbersome, and
I
tethered
applaud
to the
this
ceiling
man
and all
for
this
having
stuff.
the surgery, to have the implants put in, to start the research, and to begin moving this forward.
That guy
So-
had brass in him already.
So-
I tell you,
They claimed when he walked.
But,
Right.
but here's the thing.
Oh wait.
The first electric cars were obscenely expensive.
Oh, yes.
Horribly designed and really, really bulky and heavy and all that other stuff.
And now we have a
And
truck
now-
that's going to be pretty cheap, but still horribly designed.
A truck looks cool. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah,
I
but
love
that's
it.
because you grew up on GoldenEye. That's the only reason it looks cool.
But that truck is also what, $35,000-$45,000?
Yes.
It's the exact same
It is
price as a
$55,000,
normal car.
and that's maxed out with all its
That's
bells
bells
and
and
whistles.
whistles.
Yeah, it's
Basic
the same
models,
price.
It's like 35. Yeah.
It's the same price as a normal car.
Yeah.
You can now buy a fully functional electric vehicle that you can take
Allie,
on your
there's your
normal
Elon.
journeys.
Yeah, but Elon can control his.
So
Allie's right.
somebody,
Elon is
somebody at
the
some
bad guy.
point, a private investor or whoever will take this exoskeleton technology that's really expensive, heavy and bulky and difficult to use, and will find a way to whittle it down to being able to be affordable by the general populace
Mhm.
and smaller and easier to use.
And that
It's the
man is
same-
Colin Furs.
It's the, it's the same.
Probably not.
It's the
Probably
same
not.
kind of stuff that's happened with computers.
Yep.
The first computers took up entire buildings.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And we have far and away more computing and storage power in our pockets right now.
Well, and here's where this also comes into play, because once this gets into the Gen Pop and the technology's leaked out of how it works, people take things apart all the time.
No.
And they put them back together in their own way.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes better, sometimes not so good. But what I'm getting at is the knockoff will start to take place.
Mm-hmm.
And then you actually have competition for Gen Pop. And so your exosuit might not be the exact same as, say, your exosuit, hence the Apple versus Android and all those other, right? Well, ta-da, we now have a sustainable market for exosuits.
Get yours in purple pinstripe GTR mode.
Right. I mean, like that's going to be like, what mod are you going with?
I want to put Allie in an exosuit.
This is what we're gonna get.
Let her be in charge of security at MCFC.
This is step 3 or whatever. This is step 3 or 4 towards cyberpunk.
Dope.
Human augmentation.
Oh, yeah. We're heading that way.
It's monstrous.
So cool.
It is monstrous.
Spooky.
It's awesome.
Spooky.
Some of us are already there.
I've seen people with things plugged into their head already. We're there. It's all, it's just happening.
No.
Okay, you have now seen the trailer for Mulan. We have seen the trailer for Black Widow, and we have seen, a whole bunch of Netflix trailers. And since we don't really do Locked and Loaded the same way anymore, we're just going to talk about these trailers. And I'm going to let Andy choose which one we're starting off with.
Mulan.
Okay. So, of course, we get the Mulan trailer.
Hold that one out of here.
And we've already got a lot of people going, it's not exactly like the Disney version.
I'm sorry.
When they saw the Lion King and Aladdin, they were like, it's just like the animated Disney version.
Right. The biggest criticisms that were levied against Aladdin and the Lion King were that they were just the animated
frame
film
by frame.
over.
Oh yeah. Why did we need
a
a new Beauty and the Beast live action? It's exactly like it doesn't matter, guys.
Okay, no. First of all, Beauty and the Beast was not exactly the same as the animated movie because the Beast actually got to sing.
Right, but they also, we also had Josh Gad, he's another American treasure.
Amazing.
He's an American treasure. But we get Mulan, and it's the legend.
It's gritty.
It's gritty.
It's
hardcore.
It looks like the Great Wall.
Yeah.
If in case
just without dragons.
Yeah.
Without
looks like
Matt
the Great
Damon.
Wall, except
with
for like
Phoenixes
with
instead.
actual
Yeah.
authentic people, not just
Yeah,
white men.
it was filmed, guess what? Over there. Guess who it stars? People from over there.
Yep.
Guess what, guys? It's not going to look like a cute animated movie.
Yeah, well that's
The story of Mulan is
that's
harsh,
not what people are upset about though.
I know.
We all know what we're upset about, and we want it. And it's been confirmed that there is no Mushu and there is no breaking into song.
No.
Right.
There is,
However,
they did play.
their version of Reflection in the trailer
is awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I can't
I'm
wait.
looking forward to it.
The one caveat that I have about this movie, the one song that I wish was still there is "Make a Man Out of You."
Yeah,
because it's the best Disney song ever written.
Well, it
yeah.
might
well,
be there.
all I'm
we
hoping
don't know that
is
it's
that
not there yet.
we just know
don't
that we just know they're not going to break into song, but that doesn't mean that there's not going to be a
songs
song.
in it.
It won't be over.
It would be cool to have it in the background.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
they're doing the training montage,
Yeah.
just the beat of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, we
Well,
don't know it's not
and what's
there.
really bad is that
Yeah.
with nerds like us who
I'm in. I'll hum it aloud for the
completely
whole theater.
consume Disney, if it's playing in an instrumental
gonna
form,
start singing.
we're going to start singing.
Oh yeah, we're going to be there.
People are going to want us removed from the theater because we're
Yes.
going to be belting the lyrics as loud as
we're going to
Andy
be
can.
sponsoring the show. So
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
they're stuck with us.
That will be one of those things where if you want to see a movie with us, that'll be a thing that we make happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there will be.
Remember,
Yeah.
we can also bring swords.
Yeah.
So we will win.
There will be blood.
No.
no.
No,
Brody?
not with my swords. They'll be bruising.
That will be during Black Widow.
Oh, Black Widow. That
which
trailer.
We have seen the trailer for Black Widow, and guys, before you get excited about Natasha being back, this movie takes place between Civil and Infinity, the war movies. It's just sorry, guys.
She ain't
I
coming
know,
back.
I knew.
Yeah.
The
Well,
minute the
she
trailer
gets to
started, I was
win.
like, oh yeah, she's
We just know how it
dead.
winds up.
Yeah, Dad.
Yeah. We do get to see Yelena.
Yes.
We get to see Taskmaster in a less than happy costume.
Yeah.
We get to see Red Guardian,
Boo.
which it's actually Hopper having been stuck in Russia since the 1980s when he gets sucked into
I think it
the
looks great. I love it.
I wish they would like use Hopper as like the test dummy for all their torture devices, but that's
But
cool.
you know, like I haven't
Brody.
seen any of the.
Show me on the doll where Marvel Hopper touched you. Right here in the
Looks so
wallet?
dumb. Yes. In the
He
wallet.
doesn't look. I think he looks cool.
I don't know.
I never read comic books though, so I have no concept of what he's supposed to look like.
Well,
I
no,
think he
this
looks
is
No, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, I mean,
the costume's dead on. I love
the
the idea of them doing it. He's come out of retirement, and I love when they're all sitting at the dinner table and he's in his suit and he's just giggling.
I think it's
and
just
his wife
David
leans
Harbour.
over and just goes,
You don't like David
"You got
Harbour?
fat."
I don't know.
He's great. You're dumb, and I don't.
No,
like
I
you.
just don't like David Harbour right now.
Boo you.
Wow.
Cody, don't you have a soccer podcast to go to?
No, you know what it is?
The
you know what
civility
it is?
at the table is broken down 4.5 minutes into the trailer
I'm
discussion.
tired. I'm tired of
Cool people being funny.
no David Harbour.
You want a little
Is he really
Sandler?
that funny? Because let
Wow.
me tell you, the last season of Stranger Things, I wish he would have fallen down the hole and like gotten eaten
Is
by the
that
damn
his
thing.
fault? Is that David Harbour's fault, or
Well,
is that
kind of because it's
is
him
that-
acting it.
Did they need a whole season 3 of Stranger Things? No, they didn't.
Yes,
they did.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Absolutely, they
Absolutely
did.
not.
And I can't wait for
They
season 4
dragged
and
it
5.
out.
Wow.
Anyway,
You need a little salve with those
Wow.
burns?
Wow. I'm sitting here going, you're both dumb. Go to your corners. We'll get the boxing gloves.
No.
Whoever comes
I
out.
think she needs a smaller cup of whatever it is she's drinking.
I think
That's all I gotta say.
I think someone put a lot of salt in her damn sandwich.
Now, what I'll say about the Black Widow trailer is obviously because it takes place between Civil War and Infinity War, it feels a little meh.
Like
Yeah.
you know she's not gonna die in it.
Right.
She's not in any
Um,
real danger.
Right. Also, I don't know if it's for me if it's because of when it takes place or if it's because of the fact that Endgame happened and the MCU is over.
yeah, they should
For
have
me-
made this movie before Endgame. I would have rather
Yeah.
seen this. Like,
I'm
gonna go watch it opening
It's
night, obviously, but like,
Sure.
It's like
I'm
Yeah.
I'm sorry to my fans and followers out there, but I agree with Andy. I am at that point with you where we are in agreement that, as far as I'm concerned, Endgame ended the Marvel Universe, and Far From Home gave us a nice little epilogue that was like, okay.
After any of
And
this,
it basically says the MCU will always be there if you. But I really am not excited for any of the new upcoming movies
No.
except for Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness, because that title alone makes me go, this is going to be the most comic book movie of all time.
Well, it's
because it's going
like-
to be weird.
It's almost like they kind of like, for lack of a better term, Disney-fied the MCU with the end of Far From Home.
Yeah.
Or with Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
Or was that kind of like, the magic will always be
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Far From Home, honestly, Far From Home is a horrible subtitle to that movie. It should have been Spider-Man When You Wish Upon a Star. Because that's exactly what it is.
I don't know. I think if they're gonna keep making movies, I want it to be characters that didn't die in Endgame.
Yeah,
Right.
like that
Like-
we might actually care about now
Something
because
new would be
yeah.
Well, I also
Isn't there a new,
I've
new
always
character
wanted
that's like a
Black Widow's
talking cricket?
backstory. Like, I've always wanted this movie, but now it's like, you waited until now to
Yeah.
give it to
Yeah.
me? Really?
I think it's too little, too late. Or you know, what'd be cool in this movie is if we got her training somebody else to.
Well, I think that's
pick up the mantle.
I think that's the whole point of the Yelena stuff, is that when we get our next group movie,
right.
Yelena's going to be the Black Widow.
Okay.
Okay.
So she's going to be training this.
Well,
basic movie.
no. They're already both fully trained at this point, but you're going to see
But what
them
I'm saying
work
is, like,
together.
she's training her to take over the mantle of Black Widow.
Or we're getting an heir apparent.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
If not trained,
It's
we're getting an heir apparent.
Yeah, I don't. I want the only training we see is when Nat has a flashback when they're going through
Ballet school.
The Red Room.
Yeah, the Red Room.
Red Rum.
No.
No,
Red Rum.
No.
no.
Okay.
No,
Well, is
brother.
anybody looking forward to Ghostbusters? We're waiting.
We're waiting.
We're waiting.
I'm.
We've been teased. We've been teased that the tease is coming.
Yeah, I'm excited
Yeah.
about the fact that even though everybody is signed on to appear, except for Rick Moranis, that it's not going to focus on them.
No.
This is it focuses on a family. They're going through a haunting. The kids are are like psychopath technical geniuses, and Paul Rudd's a teacher.
Dope.
Dude, you could totally put Paul Rudd in any role for me, and I'd watch the movie.
Well, that's
which they can do for the next million years because the man don't age.
No, that would be an interesting.
It's gonna be him and
franchise for
Keanu Reeves making movies for the rest of the time.
I'm honestly, I'm good with that.
Yeah. Have they ever done a movie together?
Ooh, I don't think
know.
so.
I don't know.
But if
I don't think you can get that much hair
if they
on
have
screen
it,
at any
they
one
need
time.
to.
Yeah, they need to.
I mean, honestly, if you had thrown those two into Knives Out, it would have been the greatest movie ever, and it would win all the awards.
Yeah. Oh man.
We also got a trailer for No Time to Die.
We did.
Yeah.
And
Actually looks pretty good.
it looks good for a modern Bond movie,
Yes.
but I couldn't bring myself to get excited for it.
Me neither. Like after
I want to be excited for it, and
First
it just
off, why is Rami Malek wearing the Phantom of the Opera's mask?
Remy Malek to me always looks like Freddie Mercury now because that role
it doesn't
for
matter.
me ruined it.
It doesn't matter what they do.
He's done now, huh?
Yeah.
No, that's you. It doesn't matter what he does from now on. He will always be Mr. Robot.
Oh,
Yeah.
him too.
But he's like he's wearing the
He's
Phantom's
Mr. Freddy Robot.
Yeah.
mask
There
and
you go.
like
Well, you see it, and the first thing that came out of my mind is somebody's ripping off Nick Cannon's gimmick because he has come out to the Mass every episode every episode this season of Masked Singer. He's come out in a variation of the Phantom's gear.
yeah. So it I have to say I can appreciate them putting like the miniguns in the headlights and the Aston Martin.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's
Finally.
yeah.
Finally. Welcome back to 1964.
Yes, it's a very good throwback.
Yes.
Which they updated it though, or they upgraded
Right.
it because they're not machine guns anymore. They're miniguns.
yeah.
Yeah. They're serious. They will cut some stuff.
Yes, they're very
Yeah.
serious. But it looks like a good ending to Daniel Craig's tenure as
Bond. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Judi Dench and everybody's all had a great run with
Yeah.
him. So it's been,
Yeah.
and of course, we'll segue with Judy into her next movie. Has anybody seen Judy as a cat?
Oh.
I've seen the new trailers for Cats.
I'm watching Andy just cringe.
And they are not nearly as creepy as the originals. They're still not. They're still not making me want to go see this.
They're still creepy, sir.
I'm still saying
It's still nightmare fuel,
I'm
but
still
I will
saying
see
it.
it.
I'm still
and
saying
I will
it.
sing every damn
I say,
song.
I say, you're a music nerd.
Yeah.
I'm a stage nerd. We're both gonna be. You need not. You and
I'm
I
not going to go
All
see
right,
it because
here's what
there's
we
the
need.
off
Ready?
chance
We
that
need a
Alan's
camera
going to like bounce around the
on you and I.
theater
Yeah.
the way they
Watching
bounce
us
around
watch the- watch
in
the movie.
the theater.
That's going to be one of our first like YouTube things is a reaction video of you guys watching Cats.
No, we've got to ease people into something, Andy. we can't start them off like that. We'll get shut down so quick.
That's true.
I don't know. It looks nightmare fuel, but it's Cats. I mean, Cats as a whole.
Cats is pretty much nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever seen the Broadway play, you're like, this is kind of creepy.
drugs help.
Yeah, no,
I haven't seen it live, but I've seen a
No.
You have to see it live.
No, dude, you have to see it live.
You have
It's-
no comparison then.
Yeah.
It is.
On
It is
screen-
creepy and that's the thing. Don't ever sit on the aisle.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
I put my 9-year-old godson, cute, adorable,
Oh, he was screwed.
blonde-headed, moppy, adorable child. The lights went out as the show was getting ready to begin. The lights came back on. He had at least 6 cats on him, around him, or hanging on the chair over him.
You know what makes it creepy is
and
like
I'm
these,
sure he's still in therapy for that.
Yeah.
But it was great.
the Broadway cat or the cast, no matter where you saw it, whether it was at the Orpheum here in Memphis or wherever, they all took the cat thing very, very, very seriously.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, you're not a cat, right?
No, they
But
did not.
They didn't.
No,
Yeah.
no. After working with the Orpheum and Cats at least 9 times.
Yeah.
No, they really, I mean, and it didn't matter which tour group it was. I mean, really, I thought they were delivering tender victuals because
You mean like how the actors in the movie
they were
don't
they
seem to know
they do
that
not
they're-
really come out of character.
Yeah, ever. Anyway.
and y'all want to say this isn't creepy?
No,
No, we never said
no.
that.
We're saying
We
the
just saying-
trailers aren't as creepy as they were with that first trailer. They've fluffed out the cats a little bit.
Yeah.
They don't look sickly and disturbing.
They
Yeah.
still have anatomically correct bosoms, and I don't like that. I don't like
Well,
it.
yeah, but they have it when you see it in the theater too.
I don't like that. I just don't.
I mean,
not my
All right.
favorite.
You're either going to take anatomical bosoms on cats, or you're going to take robot dogs. You got to choose one. That's two
You
sides
can't
of the
make
spectrum.
me. I won't do it.
This is the hill upon which we die.
Brody, you and I will agree to go see this.
oh yeah. Speaking of things that should not be anatomically correct, how about Lost in Space? The new trailer
yeah.
dropped for there,
Oh.
and we get our serious man robot.
Are you staying in your bot again?
Oh yeah, he's back, baby, in all of his bodacious glory.
You know, I'm still trying to figure that term out.
Stan?
Yeah.
Stalker fan. That's it. It's portmanteau. Seriously, that's what it means. It originated. It originated
and
after
that robot booty.
It originated after the Eminem song.
Is that Buns of Titanium?
Man, bounce quarters off of him. Anyway, it looks really good. We get monsters in this season of Lost in Space. Of course, it's coming out on Netflix.
I'm sorry, Brody,
broken,
but I broke Andy.
Yeah, I think you broke Andy.
I will never tell you the truth about things again. I will always lie.
And speaking of
Your writing is garbage. I will always lie.
Netflix,
You will never amount to anything.
Netflix also released the trailer for You, which I don't know.
You want to talk about stalkers? You know?
Yeah.
You.
Speaking of stands, You season 2 trailer dropped, which looks really good, but they took the creep factor and like cranked it to like.
Is that the same guy?
Yeah.
I know they didn't learn the first time.
But he's going by a different name now.
Oh yeah, because
Oh,
he had
is
amnesia.
this just like a talented Mr. Ripley kind of thing where he's just like vanishing?
I think
into
it's more
different
like
identities?
Dexter kind of thing.
Yeah. He has taken on a new identity, and just based on the trailer, it's like he's trying to be good, but
Oh,
isn't.
come on. Yeah, he's still like.
He's
He's so crazy.
Yeah,
I
he's
love it.
He's still
There-
Crazosaurus Rex.
There's a new girl.
Ooh.
There's always going to be a new girl.
So
watching him go crazy is like watching Mr. In Between and expecting him to behave by the end of the show. You know, I'm sorry. No matter how nice he is for 90% of the show, somebody dead by the end of this thing.
Yeah.
So
do we get any more trailers?
We got the second season for The Boys.
Oh, The Boys.
Which
Yeah,
we
that's
can't
right.
really
That's
go
the
into
one I was
detail on that trailer here on Geek Tech,
No,
but you should
very
should
mature.
definitely check it out.
I think that's about it.
I think that's about it as far as things that matter.
Yeah.
well, then we have to tell everybody, the internet got broke. Yeah, we all know about Baby Yoda. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah, but we've talked
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I know. I just started posting a
Actually-
picture daily.
actually-
I will
Here's your
die for
Baby
Baby Yoda.
Get on with your day.
The internet got broken again by The Mandalorian with the latest episode because
Oh, you did.
I've
Nobo-
stayed off of it.
hold on, nobody realized who that was until they looked it up, and then they were like, "That's Amy Sedaris,"
Oh, really?
Yes.
and wow. And
Who's directing this one? Because we got
this is a Dave Filoni episode,
Dave Filoni,
and
okay.
we've got a few new characters that we're introduced to on a very, very familiar plane.
Did how did we feel about Billy's directorial go with the Mandalorian episode 4?
You mean Bryce?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard? I love it.
I liked it a lot. It reminded me of like Stargate or Star Trek. It was just like a fun little.
Cara
time-lapse
Dune is
episode.
a character I
enjoyed
want more of, and I want more of her now.
Yeah.
They finally gave Gina Carano something where she not only acted and it was believable, but it was a character you could actually like.
Yeah. And they gave her a cool little teardrop tattoo.
She's got her little rebel symbol
Rebel
tattoo.
symbol
because
tattoo, like a
because
teardrop.
she's a rebel
She's
shotgunner.
cool. I think she did some cool flippity flapping around and shooting things and stuff like that. I don't think her acting was the best ever in the whole
I was gonna say,
universe.
That
compared to
choreographed fight scene was awesome.
No,
Everything else she did, great.
Yeah.
Her
And-
acting,
And we got the coolest baby Yoda meme out of that scene.
Him sipping the tea.
Him sipping the
little
soup.
porridge. Is it a porridge?
it's not porridge. It's bone broth. He can't have porridge.
You could have porridge.
It
I'll
was
give
a-
him
He
He can have
porridge.
anything
was-
he wants.
No,
Brandon.
here's the thing. And it's
Nobody
explained.
sticks baby Yoda in the corner.
Everybody keeps going porridge. No, she says it's a portion. The same way they sell food in every Star Wars movie. It's sold as portions.
Yes.
And the Mandalorian says bone broth for the kid.
Oh,
Because
Yep.
that's
he can have whatever he wants.
that's one of the most disgusting
Baby
things in
Yoda
the world
can
if
eat
you've ever had bone
frogs.
broth.
He can eat bone broth. He can eat
If
porridge.
he can eat frogs, he can eat porridge.
Oh. Yeah. Well, remember though, in that
And how
episode,
cute did he not eat the frog?
he did not eat
He
the frog.
spit the frog back out.
The
They
kid-
were like, ew, and he's like, sorry.
This frog's jumping off.
He 2-year-old
it
the
was
frog
great.
back.
Anyway, before we get more and more, this segment becomes, Baby Yoda.
I love him.
I think we got to stop.
He needs to be in everything. I found a Disney Plus rabbit hole that I was not expecting, and it all had to do with me kind of getting away from the holiday movies, which I've been inundated with for the past, I don't know, month. It feels like.
It's only really been a week. Let's be honest.
Oh, it's felt like a month.
But you know that it's.
I've seen Grinch 8 times.
All right, you have kids
Yeah.
and a wife. I have a wife. As soon as Thanksgiving dinner was over, that means that she could watch. These are her rules, not mine.
Right.
That means she could watch holiday movies.
Right.
And all weekend.
Oh,
And it's like
brutally.
I have to wait for her to be at work so I can just throw on like Parks and Rec or something.
I'm going to be honest with you. Every Hallmark, and I know like that's the thing, is
Yeah.
like all the Hallmark movies kind of run together.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's been a 19-hour like movie that's gone on Hallmark. Because quite honestly, I couldn't tell you which Brad or Chad or
Well,
John she's
Buffy,
on.
Muffy,
Well,
Scruffy,
no,
Scruffy,
but that's
they're
all the same.
That's the thing,
All
though.
the same.
Brad, Chad, and John, those are the guys that she leaves. For the
For
flannel-based Chuck and Mike and, David.
Yeah.
Right.
Who's got the flower shop.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, his mom owns a flower shop, and she died last year, and he's just barely keeping it afloat.
Right. Oh, God. Jeez, they're all the same. But so anyway, I jumped down a rabbit hole on Disney Plus.
Right.
And I
Was
started.
it Alice in Wonderland?
Sorta. It was Star Wars Rebels. And
You finally
How's that
started watching
remotely
Rebels?
similar?
I don't know. I've watched it before, but I'm rewatching it now.
Right.
And
Man, it was so good.
it's so good. Like I'm on season 4
Yeah.
now already, and I'm like,
I don't want
I
to.
can't get enough.
I don't want to really set off the Clone Wars fans, but I'm going to. Rebels is what needs another season.
Amen.
I need them to go find Thrawn and Ezra.
Yes, I'm like, this was so good, and that story arc with who's the
Spoiler alert: Ezra Bridger is Rey's real dad.
Oh, that would be so
Just
dope.
saying.
That would be so dope. Anyway, I like
And Baby Yoda's her mom.
who's the big gray, like cow looking. But it starts with a B.
Yeah, I can't think of it because I watched it when it aired.
Yeah, I know.
God, I got to go back and watch that stuff. but-
Man, so good, dude.
I got all 4 seasons on Blu-ray because I had to have it.
Dude.
Like,
I didn't see the first 2 seasons when they came out, though Brian made me watch them. So
Yeah.
it's not even I need to watch this. It was like, sit down, watch this.
But
It's
the
like, yes, sir.
Mandalorian saga, which makes me think like, maybe Boba Fett was more Mandalorian than, we've seen, these guys like, oh, Boba Fett wasn't a real Mandalorian.
Well, he wasn't a real Mandalorian, but he followed the Mando way better than most of the Mandalorians you see
was
in the
like-
later stuff.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he be considered what they call a foundling?
No, because he wasn't trained by them.
Yeah.
Oh, he just
He was a clone of Jango.
clone.
yeah.
yeah.
No,
So
He's a weird son
He
clone.
had he had the stuff already. He never rolled with them.
okay.
Yeah.
At least not in the the prequel created continuity.
Right. So in any event, that's what I'm watching, and then in my queue, Andy, and this was after our discussion last week, where we brought up Gargoyles. I found Gargoyles, and I have it in my queue. I haven't opened that package yet. I'm really excited about it.
When you do,
Yeah.
be prepared to not sleep.
That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna grip Goliath's package and run with it.
I remember them
Sorry,
going
Joe.
like Mecca and or like Mech and the Gargoyles in like 5th season or whatever it was.
I've been on 2 things lately. First,
Besides fentanyl.
I jumped back on the nostalgia train,
Mhm.
and on Disney Plus as well, have been watching the '90s SpiderMan.
Oh, that was a good one too. Doesn't really hold up, but
The animation doesn't hold up, especially like when they do the CGI opening and like the
the weird,
like this like
the weird transition.
the CGI like
The flashy web.
moving through the city
Yeah.
and stuff. Like you're like,
Okay.
And there's what's funny to me is when I'm watching it now, like there's so many instances of reused animation in there
Yeah.
where I'm like, whoa. That totally does not look like the same wall that Spidey was on. You know,
And they literally just copy pasted that frame to frame.
Yep.
how many times do you see that shot of Venom like with the tongue, where it's like whipping back and forth or whatever?
Every
But-
time Eddie turns into Venom, every time Venom escapes from Eddie, every time that Venom and Carnage run through the Unlimited verse.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, copy paste.
But what made that show great was its voice acting, and
Yeah.
I will stand behind that for the rest of the
You
time.
mean acting?
Yes.
Hey, that's a later episode.
Also, I just started watching, and this is entirely not holiday related at all.
And this is me going, it's about damn time.
But I just finished season 1 of Jack Ryan on Amazon,
Oh, yay.
and it was awesome.
Speaking of Jack Ryan, I'm going to link this to another podcast of ours. We talked to one of the authors who worked with Tom Clancy and continued the Jack Ryan story arc after Tom Clancy died. While he doesn't have a full writing credit on this Amazon's Prime series, he did have a say in it, so pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's on my 3 Subs podcast.
Look at Brody trying to flounce his clout.
Yeah,
Just
right.
saying. We had a big guy on the show. And it was pretty cool.
But it's
Yeah, but
it's
you couldn't
just-
touch him with your hands
No, I couldn't.
because it's my 3 subs.
Yeah.
So, first off, I totally understand why Marvel considered John Krasinski for Captain America.
Yeah.
I'm glad they went with Chris Evans because I couldn't imagine them putting the Captain America like helmet
Over his
on.
cloth.
No.
with
His
with that
little shaggy
nose.
head.
Oh, his nose.
Don't you say nothing bad about his nose.
Look.
It's a
But-
very cute, large nose.
Until he played Jack Ryan, every character he played, even the character from A Quiet Place, is a complete piece of trash. Therefore, I'm with you, Andy.
Oh.
I hate Jim.
I love Jim.
Jim can burn in hell.
I love Jim.
Wow.
Actually, everybody in the office can burn in hell except for except Toby.
Toby?
I felt so bad for that.
Get out.
He reminds
Out of
me.
here.
Seriously, he reminds me of Brody in a depression.
Toby. That's kind of funny.
I will
I'm a
say-
Parks and Rec guy. All y'all can go. Yeah. Anyway,
I will say I'm a little upset because I just started season 2,
right.
and Abby Cornish is not in the second season.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want my Jack Ryan to be like James Bond, like different, a girl in every port.
He's not a
kinda-
flingy
kinda
kinda
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
That's not.
Where's Pam?
Come on. But other than that, I'm like, it's a really well done show. It's very well written. I'm very surprised at the fact that Tom Clancy has an executive producer credit from the Beyond.
Well, I mean, it's
But-
just
It's amazing what you can do
It's
when you're
his
dead.
estate
Yeah.
that owns the name
Jack Ryan.
But yeah, it's a fantastic show. I love it.
Okay, well, I stuck with a holiday theme, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be stuck with a holiday theme until Christmas at least.
January.
Oh no! I get to stop watching them at Christmas.
Oh,
Um,
lucky.
Like, are you? Wait,
Amy's going out of town the next day.
okay.
Oh.
Right. So your family does the same thing that my family does, where Christmas is over once the presents are undone.
Oh my God.
We literally everything is
Who
over.
are you?
No. Christmas isn't over. That just means that I will.
It ends at Epiphany.
Yeah.
That just means I'll be watching other things.
Yeah, we're like
know.
mid-January and we're still got like the lights going.
Yeah. If I could get away with it, the tree would be there until the tree falls over.
If I could get away with it, Christmas would not exist. But
Well, that's
Oh wow,
That's so
Such
sad.
That's so surprising to come from you, Grouchy Andy. That you're gonna like the most jolly time of
All right,
year.
all right.
You're a mean
All right,
one.
Mr. Negative, you can sit over there for the rest of the year in the corner and think about what you just said.
Getting cold. That's the cold for
Man, I'm wondering if I
you.
got
You
a
need to
return.
watch Noel.
I wonder
That's
if I got a
show on
return
Disney.
policy on those gifts I got y'all.
No.
Because Andy just ruined it for all of you. Anyway,
wow.
so I watched because I'm
Thanks, Andy.
also a huge Dennis Quaid fan. So
Yes.
I watched.
Is it good?
Yes. I watched Merry Happy Whatever. And I did not know, I didn't watch a trailer or anything for it. It shows up, I go, hey, that's Dennis Quaid, I'll watch that. I didn't realize it's a sitcom. I think, all right, youngest daughter brings home musician boyfriend, dad doesn't approve because he's a sheriff and musicians are horrible.
Right.
No, this is literally, it is a 30-minute sitcom and it is brilliant. I loved Undateable. You remember Undateable, Andy?
Yeah.
Well, Brent Morin and Bridget Mendler, who were on Undateable,
Yeah.
play the couple in this, and then Ashley Tisdale's in it as a young his second to youngest daughter, and she's going through a divorce. And
wow, Ashley Tisdale's that old she could play that part?
Yes, and her husband is one of John Ritter's kids.
Oh, cool.
And you recognize 90% of this cast right off the bat.
God, I feel old.
And it's
right.
It's just it's really fun. It's a 10-day moment in their life. As he is preparing to propose to her on Christmas, but he's got to get her dad's blessing.
Mm.
And he tells him, I mean, it's just like it's Dennis Quaid.
Right.
And you know how gruff he can be, but how
Yeah. I have to say, I think the best thing that I've seen Dennis Quaid in a long time has been his Easterns commercials.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at that.
He does seem to be having a little bit too much fun.
Right?
Just it's kind of like,
Well, he's walking around, he's going like, "You're hearing this from me, Hollywood star Dennis Quaid," and you're like,
all right, I'm
a
going to
little
phone
on the,
this
I mean,
in.
a little on the
Little
nose, but like, I like it.
You know, it's kind of like, can we have that with a little
It was
side
also
can
nice-
we have that with a side
All
of
right.
cheese with?
Well, it's been nice
You know?
to watch him in something that doesn't make me cry because the last two things he did was a dog's purpose and a dog's journey, and it's like
No, dude.
no, I'm a dog guy. You don't do that to
I
me.
was going to say, no,
Yeah.
Brandon would just be puddles.
Oh, dude,
Oh, yeah.
dude, it's like
A dog named Puddle.
Yep.
seriously, I have to get one of those barber shop, like aprons to put on, that keeps the hair off of you because those things are waterproof and it keeps my clothes dry. The other thing I've been watching though, when I'm not, is I'm binging Recess.
Oh,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved Recess.
I love
so
Recess.
much.
The one problem with binging Recess is it really does make me upset that Fillmore is not on Disney Plus. I loved Fillmore. It's like, give me. I'm not a '90s kid, but give me my '90s cartoons, damn it.
I've been making the rounds of the classic holiday films. We watched all the Home Alones. Well, not the third one, but the first and second. The two important.
The two that happen at
Yeah, the
Christmas.
two good ones.
Two that matter.
The two that matter.
And then we watched Christmas with the Cranks, which is my all-time
I
favorite
love
Christmas
that movie.
ever. I love it so much. And then
Can we just throw really serious props to Christmas with the Cranks for finally having a Frosty that actually looks right?
Yes.
No Frosty and anything else actually has a button nose, but theirs does.
I also love how the entire neighborhood has giant Frosties on their roofs. I was like, wow, every house
Free
has
Frosty,
one.
free Frosty.
It's
Drive
so
down
good.
Carrollwood or the Cordova area.
They all got big things on
Yeah.
the roofs.
Yeah, well, it's not on the roof; it's in the front yard, and you're like, did everybody get a memo to buy one of those
Yes,
things?
actually, probably.
They had the same sale at the same big box store.
Well, it's
Yes.
if it's like a like in a cul-de-sac or something.
Yeah.
There's always someone who manages the cul-de-sac to make sure everybody has their decorations out
Yeah.
and does the trip to Home Depot and goes, "Hey, that inflatable thing. I'm just gonna get one for everybody."
Yeah.
Neighborhoods are wild. And then we binged the whole second season of Nailed It, which is like one of the best shows ever. Please watch it on Netflix. So funny.
Yes.
It's just entertaining because that's how I would bake. It would all look bad. And my favorite part is that they know it's a Netflix show, and so at the end of every episode, the host is like, "And another episode's coming up right now because we know you're binging it." And I'm like, "Dang
Yay.
it! Yes, I am. I'm gonna watch it."
Damn you!
Stop knowing me so well, Netflix. This is weird.
Curses.
Well, I've just been visiting, the Ghost of Christmas Past, aka it's kind of fun to compare all the different versions of A Christmas Carol.
Oh, the best one is the Muppet
Oh,
Christmas
for
Carol.
sure.
Oh yeah, you gotta.
How would the help suddenly be unemployed? Heat wave!
Roast suckling potatoes.
Yes.
No offense, Mom. No offense.
It is the best.
You go back, you watch this, and you're just kind of like, this was kinder, gentler, and edgy.
Yeah.
You're like going, really?
Every
My-
Muppet show is like that.
My dad every year, speaking of different versions of A Christmas Carol, every single year in our house, there are two films that get watched every year for Christmas. One is White Christmas
Okay.
with Bing Crosby.
Understandable.
The second is Scrooge
Yes.
Yes.
with Albert Finney.
Oh, I was
Yes.
hoping you were going Scrooged with.
No,
Well,
not Bill
no,
Murray.
no.
Scrooge
Scrooge. There's no
With-
D on
with-
this one.
with Albert Finney.
Who is amazing.
Yes.
American audiences really don't get him very much,
No.
but truly amazing.
The only reason why,
Scrooged.
because at this point it's become like all the rest of us hate this film because
Right.
we've literally seen it every
You've
year
seen
for
it
our
every
entire
year
lives.
for your entire life. Yes.
But the only thing that my dad demands that we watch is the scene where Scrooge is with the ghost of Christmas Future,
yes.
and they're bringing out his casket,
Yes.
and they're singing "Thank you very much"
Yes.
for dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
good riddance.
Right.
And of course,
Because he loves that song.
well,
and
it's-
I can't.
to this day, it just causes
My-
a twitch. I can
Well,
tell.
my dad is the only person in my family who does not have musical talent at all
Oh, jeez.
in any fashion,
And Randy wants to sing.
and
doesn't
he
he?
sorry.
sings the
Poor-
whole
oh,
song
yeah. I'm saying he is belting this thing out isn't
every
he?
year.
Oh,
Oh, man.
and
He tries.
and I'm gonna end this segment with just remember Carol Kane telling you sometimes it's just gotta hurt. No, it doesn't.
Two, one. Friends, I am upset.
Really?
Yes.
No, you.
Okay, so I found something out, and it's bothering me. All right,
Okay.
Andy
it's kind of
learned.
a long road how I got there, but basically what happened was
Did you get caught in a YouTube rabbit hole?
no.
It can't be that long.
I went to lunch the other day,
Uh-huh.
and I was sitting in the restaurant, and the dude who was working there was watching the Netflix show The Movies, I think.
The movies that made us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Which is a offshoot of the toys that made us. This first season is Dirty Dancing, Die Hard, Ghostbusters, and Home Alone.
okay. So he was watching the one about Die Hard,
Right.
right? And they showed the actor because they got everybody except Bruce Willis because
Right, because he's in the wonderful words of Sylvester Stallone, he's greedy and lazy.
right. So but they had the actor who played the reporter from Die Hard, who's the same guy who played the a-hole in Ghostbusters.
Right.
Right. And I was looking at his face and I was like, you know what? He looks an awful lot like the Norman Osborn from the SpiderMan game
'Cause he
from
is.
last year. Well, I looked it up.
No, it's not.
It's not the same guy.
Oh, that's a facial model, though. I'm not talking.
It
No,
looks
no,
very
no.
much like him.
Well,
but
I looked up the guy who did play Norman Osborn, and they did use his face,
Right.
but they just happen to look really similar.
Yeah.
So, but while I was looking at the cast list, the filmography or whatever on Spider-Man,
you're looking at the credits and whatnot. right?
I'm looking at the credits. I noticed that like on IMDb, they're all listed as voice actors
Well, what else
in
would
this-
they be listed as?
in this game. Well,
I
okay.
mean, they use their voice to act.
I mean, no, they do use their voice to act, but they also use everything else. If you know anything about the way that modern video games are made, which Brody, I know that you do,
yeah,
you know
it's all
that
mocapped.
it's all motion capture, but it's also facial capture. It's performance capture is what they
Yeah.
call it now.
Well,
it's the same kind of thing as the way that Andy Serkis made Gollum in Lord of the Rings, or his performance as Caesar in the latest Planet of the Apes movies.
Yes.
And his this is the question that I am posing.
Okay.
Why are these actors who are playing characters in video games
Yeah.
only getting voice actor credits,
Well-
which by any shape or measure is widely considered to be less than a lower form of acting almost?
I don't. Well, okay. I think that's where you're wrong. You're wrong.
Well, no, I mean, I don't mean I mean to the general populace. Like the general
Okay,
populace
yeah.
is not going to look at a voice actor and go, "Oh, they do the same thing as a
regular actor,
as an
right.
actor who's on film or
Sure.
whatever." Why are these people who are doing essentially the same thing that Andy Serkis did in those films?
Yeah.
Only getting voice actor credits as opposed to
Well, okay, but
a
here's
full acting
you
credit.
could argue that with people doing cartoons now, because you essentially get filmed while you do the cartoon, right? While you do your voice acting in the cartoon, and they will basically draw in your facial features into that character. And I think that's where they kind of missed the boat with Andy Serkis. Okay, and then they kind of like messed up there because they should have given him a voice acting credit because it is not him.
It is him though.
It's not.
Okay.
Because they recreate you.
Okay, well, you've brought up one of my favorite questions for about the last 10 years.
Okay.
Where is the line in technology between game technology and movie technology? And I'm going to throw Avatar under the bus and on the bonfire.
That's literally about where I was about to go. So go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember the Final Fantasy movie.
Yes.
Basically,
Spirits Within was what it was called.
Spirits Within, which was basically game technology.
Yep.
You recognize the face of everybody on it. I'll go back to Ralph Bakshi's rotoscope of Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Which was basically people walking around a studio.
Walking simulator.
Yeah, walking around a studio, and then they went and drew the scenes in over the characters.
Right.
I'm trying to think of just where's the line?
Well, okay.
Because the game technology now, especially with the Avatar filming technology.
Okay, but you're controlling that person. You basically are playing the director and actor in a game.
That's not entirely true.
But
especially
all
not
of that
in...
has to be fundamentally put into the game. So what you are controlling is predefined and put in. So I think Andy is right on a cusp because is it a movie?
Right.
Is it a game?
Right.
Because now most of the games are movies. Most of the movies become games.
Yeah.
And the voice, the mannerisms, like if you play Vader only has one body style and one set of mannerisms. Doesn't matter who animates him.
Right.
And that all goes back to the original acting job.
Because you're getting recreated, okay, essentially you're just molded. And you can be molded in any form or fashion. While it might look like said character, that character might not exactly look like that. You know what I'm saying? Or that person might not necessarily look like that. So you are a voice actor.
But then at that point, the entirety of Avatar should have been voice actor credits.
I'm not going to say you're wrong there.
However, the actors and actresses are running around in little green suits with ping pong balls all over them, doing every single thing.
I'm going to say this then: if Bill Nighy in his mocap suit as Davy Jones would be a voice actor,
right,
then anybody who's under 10 tons of makeup that you can't see these people because they're recreated also should only get a voice credit.
Listen, you're making this very hard for me to play counterpoint right now.
It's called logic,
because
Brody.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm literally trying to find another way.
It's the line is getting really blurry.
Yeah, well,
that and the fact that nowadays, I mean, Andy's right. You know, you look at Norman Reedus in Death Stranding. You look at
that's what I was about to say. Does he get a acting credit or a voice acting credit?
You look at Cameron Monaghan in Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah,
they put on the full mocap. They moved. They did the tumbles. They did all the work.
Look at their face.
Judge who played Kratos.
Christopher Judge, who played Kratos.
Well, yeah, but Christopher Judge is Kratos. There's not a whole lot of altering there. There's not a whole lot of recreation.
What about massive fight scenes and stuff like that are utterly CGI?
But they're not, though.
But they're not.
Because even, I've gone back and watched...
Oh, I'm thinking The Matrix. I know.
We're not talking about
movies,
though. We're talking,
I'm not talking about something where you're running the joystick and the character's doing something.
Yeah.
I'm talking about basically game technology being applied to a movie, but yet that actor
Hugo Weaving was every Agent Smith.
Well, yeah. My question is, do the voice actors now, because a lot of them are actors, and a lot of them do belong to SAG and AFTRA and all that other stuff.
Right.
Do all voice actors belong to SAG and AFTRA and all that other stuff?
No more so than all actors. Hollywood has always been very pro-union.
Right.
Unless the studio owns you like they used to back in the day.
Well, okay, but that being said, if they all, quote unquote, all do, right, when that's not true, okay, we know that to be a falsity in itself, but if most of them do, right, why don't these unions go back and say, listen, there should at least be a recognition of.
There was actually
Well,
a big thing like earlier this year.
Well, it was middle of last year into about March of this year, where the voice actors on video games and cartoons and stuff like that, who especially in animated CGI stuff where they're being used for mocap, they went to the unions. They fought for this. This was a big negotiation.
It was a big deal.
You know, and they get the bonuses. They get they get all the stuff that would come with just being a regular actor, except for the credit.
Yeah, and the paycheck.
Yeah,
right. Well, I think that's where the bigger lie.
That's suddenly Brody and I really need to check.
Well, that's the thing.
Paycheck.
That's what, if once you have that actor credit over the voice actor credit, that adds another couple zeros to your check.
Another couple zeros. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
well,
it's it's a bit like okay.
It's the difference between Tara Strong and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Well, you and I were talking the other day about like the scenes from the end of SpiderMan.
Right.
Right. Where spoilers for anybody who hasn't played the game that came out last year.
Play it.
Play it at this point.
I'm going to say something else.
But like the scene at the end of the game where you've defeated Dr. Octopus and he's laying on that slab of metal or whatever, and he's screaming about how he's about to get locked into this body that is in
it doesn't work.
Yeah, that won't work within the next 6 months, and it's just this incredibly like moving scene.
Right.
And then 2 seconds later, you cut to
a dying Aunt
Peter having
May.
to make the decision between saving everybody else in the city and saving his aunt.
Right.
And that whole scene, and literally just weeping your face off.
Right.
Like, and yet Yuri Lowenthal can't get an actual actor cred for this. Like, they de-aged him because Yuri Lowenthal is like 45 or something.
Well, here's where I think we're really missing the mark as far as the voice actors are concerned, quote unquote voice actors now, is that there isn't a Golden Globe, People's Choice,
Academy
Award kind of deal credit that can go to them. And while we know that those are all just bought and whatever have you, to have that credit,
like the best that you can get is the Game Awards are coming up soon. They have a category for performances.
Whippy Dippy. Like that's like the MTV Movie Awards. Nobody gives a crap. So what? You got a Moon Man. Whippy Dippy.
Yeah.
You
got your golden pot of popcorn?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Woo!
It's like a Razzie. You might show up, you might not.
It doesn't add that credibility to your name at the whenever like a game's coming out, they're like Academy Award winner Norman Reedus or something like that.
So the Emmys have the Outstanding Voiceover Performance nominees. The Academy has their own version of that as well.
But that's not an actor credit. It's a voice acting credit.
But that's the thing is they do have their award. You just said they didn't. At the Academy or the Emmy, they do.
But they don't. It's not as weighted.
Basically, what we're saying is like why.
They shouldn't. What we've been saying is they shouldn't have to have that separate thing. They should be getting something along the line of Best Actor because
correct. That's what I was.
Let's just be honest. Dwayne Johnson as Maui deserved that.
Yeah.
The year Moana came out, the movies that went up alongside it, he was probably the best actor in the entire category on that.
All right. How about Mark Hamill as the Joker?
I think he's the greatest Joker, but I still think that his voice acting doesn't deserve an award.
Well, I'm just throwing in there.
Yeah, because you can always tell it's him.
But
because it's the same voice. It's my same problem with certain other characters.
But should he be getting a credit? Well, it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Every let's face it, every geek and nerd on the planet knows those
Hamill.
two words,
Right.
Mark and Hamill.
I think every person on the planet
Pretty close.
Yeah.
We all know who Mark Hamill is.
Right.
However,
I think he
the
played
Joker?
Luke or something in a movie.
What's a Luke?
It's an indie film called Star Wars.
I hadn't seen that.
No,
before,
it was that frog movie, Fluke Pondhopper.
Anyway, yeah.
But
No, I saw him in a baseball movie once.
Oh, okay. But what kind of credit did he get for voicing
The Joker?
the Joker? And
won
did he voice
won
the
a couple
Joker
of
in a
game
game?
awards.
Yeah, but I mean, he gets a voice acting credit in the
Right.
Arkham games.
Right.
He doesn't get an actor credit. He gets a voice actor credit.
Right.
That's how he's paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I would pick the biggest possible name.
They
I
may
could
pay him
pick
a little bit more because he's Mark Hamill.
Well, I think
Actually, no. If I remember correctly, he did the Joker for scale.
He did it for scale?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The past 2 years, we've seen really big actors.
And he also felt bad because he knocked Tim Curry out of the role.
Right. I think at this point, in the past 2 years, we've seen big actors and actresses get into gaming acting roles. Mm-hmm. We saw it big time with Hideo Kojima's game that just dropped with arguably some pretty good big actors in it.
Well, yeah.
Okay. And while they are getting credit where it's due, they're not getting the full credit that I think they deserve.
No, that's Andy's part. You're supposed to be counterpoint, Brody.
Dadgummit.
Essentially, would
it's
you
hard
see,
to argue the other way.
Would you see a game performance or even a performance capture performance in the best actor category or in the best actress category? And the answer is no, you wouldn't.
I thought we did with Avatar.
Did we have a best actor? Because I mean, as good a movie as that is, and as great visual effects, the acting in that movie was subpar
terrible.
Beyond subpar.
God, it was awful.
Yeah, but
I thought we did.
But I'll roll it back to the front. Andy Serkis is Caesar. His Gollum is great, but his Caesar's had
way better.
Weight.
Yeah,
you know, like why was that not in the category?
Caesar actually had emotion.
Yeah,
whereas Gollum just had a crazy tick.
Yeah, Gollum.
He was just bipolar, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's funny to watch crazy on TV. It's You know.
So that's all I'm getting at is, and I know that these are video games, and that's a totally different medium.
Is it though?
And I mean, it is a different medium.
Well, yeah, but
So-
I don't know. In 5 to 10 years, I
But,
don't
like,
know
even-
if a video
yeah, like,
game is
even
not
the-
going to be a movie.
Even the motions and stuff, like what we were saying, like they do all the grunts, they do the running, they do the jumping, they do the falling. Like they should get, in addition to the voice actor credit, at least give them a stuntman credit too.
Well, I mean, you know, you look at the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah,
Kane Hodder, his old ass in full mocap gear, doing every move Jason does in that game. We got to watch that behind the scenes. He doesn't get a voice actor credit because of the fact, well, Jason don't speak.
right.
Oh yeah,
But
what does he get there?
He got a stuntman credit.
Oh, well,
So I guess there's a way around it.
there's a way around it.
I think what they're going to have. I think what's going to have to happen is people are going to have to really pay attention to what goes up on their IMDb Pro, and they may have to go back and start editing it a little bit
Yeah, I for me, it's
to
just
make sure you put at least a footnote in there. Hey, that's my body
yeah.
under that airplay.
I mean, the actors just would have to start doing it like under their contracts or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
guess. But
it's I mean, and it's something. Seeing as how a lot of these voice actors are, remember, you know, of SAG-AFTRA, you know, that's something they could put into their bylines.
yeah,
You know, when it comes to contracts, is that if you're doing more than just standing in a booth recording your voice, you deserve some sort of performance credit outside of just voice actor.
yeah, I agree.
I mean, Allie pointed out to me, you know, that Cumberbatch, he won an award for doing the voice of Smaug as a voice actor. You know, he got that credit, but you know, it's not like he was running around, you know, like, you know, over mounds of gold and jumping on hobbits, and you know, he wasn't. He was just sitting there. It was the mocap was only on his face.
No, not that I remember. I remember seeing videos of him in a full mocap suit with the ping pong balls on it.
Right, and but he didn't do a whole lot. He didn't do a whole lot of motion other than the fact that they used it to capture his face.
I want to see him flap his wings.
That'd be nice.
There you go.
I'm fully convinced that he has them.
Well, it is Benedict. You know, if
Yeah.
he says he does, it's gonna be hard to argue.
Well,
I
don't
want
wa-
wings.
I don't want to see Doctor Strange flap his wings.
You'll fly another way. Well, I'd like to kick random off by talking about a superhero in real life.
You're going to talk about Spider-Man
we've
again,
never
are you?
talked
Nope.
about superheroes before.
Not
No.
Spider-Man, but
Wait,
another
no.
Man o' Steel.
Oh, okay.
And this is
this one relevant?
very poignant.
It's like Buns of Steel.
Well,
or where are we going with this?
It looks like the Man of Steel has a new disguise. He's no longer disguising himself as a reporter, but a professor in State College in New York.
Oh, I was about to say, Andy, you been holding out on us, Bubba?
His name is William Clark. He's a professor at the Birmingham University Health and Wellness Department. He's a former Olympic strongman, which makes this all more relevant because he has just beaten the previous record of bending railroad spikes in 1 minute. The previous record was 4. This dude did 7.
Jeez.
Okay, first of all, I was like, all right, really? No, he starts bending it. And there's video. He starts bending it over his thigh, right?
Right.
And then he puts the railroad spike in between his arms and he wrenches this thing up and like it's bending a tooth, like one of those paper clips.
Wow.
It's pretty sick, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'm kind of scared of the guy.
Well,
because he doesn't even look that big. Look, he kind of is kind of unassuming. Like you would expect a strong man to look kind of
big giant guy. No, not really.
Oh, I eat egg.
Like Big Bird, like the mountain.
Yes, like the mountain. This guy's not mountain.
He's just a guy.
Yeah,
that you will turn your papers in on time, won't you?
Yeah, he's just a dude who, by the way, could bend you in a like fold you in origami.
What's he professor of?
Health and wellness.
Of course.
Of course
he is.
Of course he is.
Eat your 3 dozen eggs in the morning.
I'd like to
3
go ahead
dozen
and
eggs. No, he had a can of spinach.
I'd like to go ahead and apologize to our Austrian listeners. Brody's Schwarzenegger accent is a little off.
Was that Schwarzenegger?
Oh, I thought he was going for the 2 dudes from SNL.
Yeah, that's what I was
Same
doing.
deal. They're Austrian too.
to pop
You up?
Oh,
Well,
God.
let's go play with the snowman.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah, let's go build the snowman.
Whoa. No.
Let's go build the snowman.
We can't do that yet. We have to get permission.
Oh,
Well,
right.
This was Petersburg, Kentucky, and a very nice young man by the name of Corey Lutz had his fiancée and her sister visiting, and they had just had a massive snowfall and decided, well, let's go play in the snow. You know, let's go have a winter wonderland
Do you want
thing.
to build a snowman?
Stop it.
They
Brody.
did. They did.
Disney's litigious.
9 foot tall.
9 foot.
This thing is massive.
They got that bombastic.
They
What is
had
it?
a lot of snow.
Well, not exactly.
Do you want to engineer a snowman?
Is he made out of your robot skeleton? Alan?
Well, they did use something in the front yard as the base, and that would be that gargantuan tree stump.
Oh, that was
Oh, wow, that's smart.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
And
smart.
then, well, after they got done frolicking,
I see where this is going.
they
Yeah.
left. They left, and when they came home, they were very confused because there's 4x4 tracks pulling off the road, aiming directly at the snowman, leaving a huge bumper imprint on the base of the tree trunk.
That's what you get, you little redneck. Trying to destroy some
Yeah.
fun.
Hey man, there's a big old snowman. We're gonna blow it up. Oh crap!
Welcome to instant karma.
Well,
Don't.
the thing is
Welcome
if
to instant karma.
they had looked deep within the belly of that snowman is one of the riders.
We just, I mean, I'll leave look at Brody and go.
The snowman
This is a cautionary tale from last year, guys. Leave them alone. You don't know.
Isn't like this premise of Jack Frost that's similar to that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that horror movie Jack Frost.
Oh,
Terrible.
Yeah, don't mess with the snowman. It might mess back. But I would have given anything to have seen the look on the faces. You knew there was more than one.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
knew there was a vehicle full of people.
What the hell?
Oh, yeah.
And when they slammed into that thing,
And you know, it was probably a pickup truck, and there
Damn
was
it,
probably
Ricky.
people in the back of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it, Ricky! I told you not to run that damn snowman over. You shut up. It's my truck. It's my baby.
Well, in the spirit of festive decoration, some residents in Mississippi are a little fed up with the fact that their streets have not been very well maintained.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as you do.
I've been to Mississippi. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
So they are protesting a rather large pothole that is in
Where in
their
Mississippi
neighborhood.
is this?
This is Macomb, Mississippi.
Oh yeah, Macomb. Yeah, I know where that is.
Brody's been lost and drunk there.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually,
all the way to New Orleans.
I actually know somebody from Macomb.
So Macomb's Edgewood neighborhood have topped this pothole, and its yellow traffic cone with tinsel, spray painted pine cones, white leaves, and what appear to be holly berries.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
The newspaper says, Residents plan to add lights and presents in hopes of drawing the city's attention.
By the way, this is in the middle of the street, right? I hope.
It's unclear how long the pothole has gone unattended by the city or what drove residents to start cheerfully protesting it
I just picture it like a Whoville kind of thing, like eventually happening.
Where, like all the people from the
And it's
neighborhood
okay
just
for us to
stand
do
around
that
the
one because
pothole.
none of us actually know the words.
Yeah, well, I was kind of thinking it's more like a lighthouse. They're warning you don't go U-boat into this thing. So.
I just want to take a GTR field trip to Macomb now and leave presents at it.
It's not that far away, but we're driving for a while. It's closer to Jackson.
What would be fun is if like they start like that becomes a neighborhood tradition for
Yes.
them. Like, even if they fill the pothole, they start like putting a tree up in the middle,
In the middle of the
absolutely,
street.
That's
would love it.
adorable.
Treat.
The true spirit of
So
Christmas.
anyways, all right. Well, we're gonna keep on going with the the festivities of Christmas, and we're gonna end on a positive note.
Wow.
Literally.
Wow.
If you would like to go to the Chattanooga, Tennessee Aquarium,
Oh,
By
that's
the
so
way.
good too.
I
which
love
is
that place.
amazing.
Yeah.
They've put up their Christmas tree, and it's
They're-
powered.
Their aquarium rivals our zoo.
Yes, it does.
If you put the two together, oh my god.
Oh,
Basically, if
Like-
you want to see the greatest zoological stuff, go from one end of Tennessee to the other.
Yes.
That's true. You get to see the weird mountain people.
So
weird.
But
this,
don't give them food.
Yeah, don't feed them.
yeah, they'll follow you.
Do not give
It's
them
the same
food.
zoo rules everywhere you go in Tennessee.
Right.
and if your banjo's playing, roll up the windows.
Right. If you hear somebody saying run.
You got to print them out.
No, that means you crossed the border to Arkansas. I'd like to go ahead and apologize to
Went
any
too
of
far.
Arkansas
Yeah.
listeners.
Actually, it would be
send,
Georgia. Actually,
Send all
That would be
of your
Georgia.
hate mail to Joe Thorderson, care of Geek Tank Radio, because he's instilled these things in me. Anyway, back to Chattanooga and the Tennessee Aquarium. They've put up their Christmas decorations, and they've got a very special Christmas tree, and it is being powered by an electric eel named Miguel Watson.
Aw.
of course. What else would
cool.
you name him?
A special system is connected to Miguel's tank that enables his shocks to power strands of lights on a nearby tree, according to a news release. And, of course, he has a Twitter account
Yes.
so that they can show videos of the tree.
Is this the same tank that they have where you touch the little ball outside of it? I'm thinking
It's got, like, the static ball.
yeah, and it's
Yeah,
the static
and-
ball,
yeah.
but he's powering
Right.
the static ball.
Same situation.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, Miguel releases low-voltage blips of electricity when he's trying to find food, so that gives you a little bit of a blinking. And then when he's eating or excited, he emits higher voltage, which causes bigger flashes.
So run up to the tank and go, "Who's a good you? Who's a good you?"
If you manage to make...
Don't do
Don't
that.
do that.
Don't,
All right.
don't do
Because
that.
that electricity can't pass
Now-
through the glass.
Now, his Twitter account is set up by the coding team at
followed
Tennessee Tech University's iCube Center, so that it will send. I mean, when he ignites the tree, it will send a video.
My favorite tweet so far is Bazam.
Really,
Wow.
I like Shazam and Kablamaroo.
They're ugly little creatures, though. You got to be honest.
They
Like,
are. They combine electrical engineering and emerging business communication to give the eel a voice.
yeah.
So of course, everybody's got a Twitter account now, and I feel bad for the eel being on Twitter because it's a cesspool.
Right.
But that's neither here nor
It
there.
kind of fits right in now.
How do you troll an eel?
Ooh, Twitter will find a way.
Yeah, okay, I'm just asking.
But anyways, guys, if you
I'm not making it a challenge.
check out his Twitter account, or if you have the means, head on up to the Tennessee Aquarium.
It's worth it.
It is definitely worth it.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of accounts and whatnot, we have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. No.
We're all on Twitter. We're all on Instagram. You can definitely make sure to follow us on YouTube. Go subscribe to Dark Oak Press and Media. We have our playlist there where you can listen to all of our previous shows from this year. We've also got.
If you haven't memorized them by now, then you need to go listen again.
Yes. We are also at 1019kissfm.com. You can check us out there. We're on Facebook, all the good social media stuff. So please make sure to go and do that because we're building our brand. as they say.
And at the first of the year, we were actually going to have a poll, and you get to choose which of our newbies gets dunked in cold eggnog.
That's not true.
It's either going to be Andy or it's going to be Allie, and I'm going to put up the poll today to end on January 1st.
That's not.
Remember that I'm a cute girl, and Andy's a white man.
Bad.
You just sealed your fate, Allie.
I'm gonna win.
I'm going to win.
Anyways, guys, speaking of winning, let's get out of here before they realize just how big of a loser we
Evil
are.
look on her face. I am so proud.
Who are you?
I'm Allie Dix.
I'm Alan Gilbreth.
I'm Brody.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brandon, reminding you to check back with us next season when we will actually have Joe in the studio and we'll talk about the second season of making it.